All right, you're thinking about moving to the Austin area, but you don't think you want to move into Austin itself. You want to be in one of the outlying areas, maybe somewhere in the hill country, maybe somewhere a little more up north, but you're not quite sure exactly where to start. Guys, you found the right channel, you found the right video. Chris Pesek, broker associate at Pesek Properties and the Dripping Springs home team here, and this channel exists to help people like you. We get calls from people like you every day. They're looking to move to Austin, don't know where to start, so whether you're thinking about moving here in 9 days, 90 days, 9 months, doesn't matter. Reach out to us, give us a call, shoot us an email, set up a meeting with us in that Calendly link down there. Regardless, just get in contact with you because you're not going to find better content and better people to show you around than the Dripping Springs home team and Pesek Property. So in this video, like I said, you want to move to Austin, but you're not even sure if you want to be in Austin. You may be in one of the small towns outside. So if you know about San Marcos, Buda, Kyle, Dripping Springs, Blanco, Johnson City, Lakeway, let's see, Lago Vista, Cedar Park, Round Rock, Leander, I'll stop because you probably don't know where half of those places are, and that's just on the west side of Austin. So let's get started with this video. Let's show you exactly what all these major suburbs around Austin are, and I'll even, if you wait around to the end, I'm going to talk about the latest purchase that Elon Musk made in this area. All right, here we go.
So let's talk a little bit about Austin, the outlying areas, and let you know where some of these major suburbs are. And I'll start kind of down here on the south, and I'll just work up around, let's go clockwise motion around Austin. So two suburbs that are growing really, really quickly right now are on the south side. San Marcos is on I-35, just south of Austin, probably about 35 minutes from downtown, not counting traffic. And then you've also got Lockhart, which if you know anything about Texas barbecue, Lockhart is a little bit of kind of a legendary town, and it's a really small town, but it's growing very quickly now as well. And Lockhart is on 130, which is the toll road that starts down here, and I'll actually zoom down a little bit more. 130 starts down here in Seguin, which is technically a suburb of San Antonio, but 130 starts down here in Seguin and then continues all the way up around the east side of Austin over to Georgetown. So that is a toll road, two-lane toll road. I think the speed limit on it is 85. So that is a really quick way to get around town. So let's zoom back in here a little bit. You've got Austin, you've got San Marcos here on this south side. As we go over Canyon Lake and Spring Branch, this is an area that's growing very quickly as well. Canyon Lake's a beautiful lake out here just southwest of Austin, boating, fishing, all kinds of stuff like that. And it's along the Guadalupe River. So if you've ever heard of tubing on the Guadalupe, this is the area where a lot of people tube in the summer. And if you don't know about tubing, we can talk about that at another time. But on this side, you've got 281 coming up north out of San Antonio. And so going back to when I started the video, I had mentioned this triangle around Texas from Dallas to San Antonio to Houston, and that's where the majority of the growth is happening. So historically, and this isn't just in Texas, but in just about anywhere, when we're talking about growth, it's going to happen along major road corridors. So that's the reason I talk a lot about I-35. Again, going from San Antonio up to Dallas. 281 is a road coming out of San Antonio going up the west side of Austin. I-10 goes from San Antonio to Houston, and I just mentioned 130 and 183 coming up around that east side of Austin. The reason I mention that now when I'm talking about these towns, because I'm really talking about where the growth is occurring. And so when you talk about Spring Branch and Blanco, San Antonio is growing very quickly up 281 towards Johnson City. Okay. And then you've got, I already mentioned here on the south side, you've got San Marcos. I-35 is growing very quickly down to San Marcos and then down further into New Braunfels, growing very quickly along 130 down to Lockhart, and to a little bit lesser extent, Luling down here to the south as well. But then over on this west side, you've got the other major road, 290, heading out to 281. Now, a lot of growth. Spring Branch, you've got Blanco out here starting to grow very quickly. Dripping Springs, where I personally live, growing very, very quickly with a high price point out here. Johnson City, and then as you go out 281 out of Johnson City, you're going to find Fredericksburg out there, which is kind of a weekend getaway type place. And people are starting to buy kind of weekend properties out there. That's known as the Napa Valley of Texas. I would not personally say that it's Napa Valley quality wine just yet, but I'm just telling you that's what it's known as. So that's where Fredericksburg is out there. And as you roll up around the west side of Austin, you're going to find more communities like Bee Cave starting to get very popular, Lakeway. Lago Vista is a little bit of a hidden gem. It's just a little bit tougher to get to on that west side of Austin. And as you continue to go north, you've got Cedar Park, Leander, Georgetown, Round Rock, Liberty Hill. Guys, this area up here is absolutely exploding right now. At this point, we've got new home communities that are being built in Jarrell. And Jarrell has been just a wide spot in the road on I-35 for a long time. But now you've got new home communities all over the place in Jarrell. So, new homes are available in Liberty Hill. Leander is almost built out from a new home perspective. Georgetown's got a lot of new growth going on in it. And then coming down this side over here, the major players on this side right now are Taylor. If you've heard of Samsung, that little company, the new Samsung factory is going in right on the south side of Taylor. Hutto is growing very, very quickly. And again, you've got 130. This is that bypass going to the north, and then you've got 79. So again, we've got growth happening along these major road corridors. So 130 all the way up to north of Georgetown, and then 79 going out. That's where we've got a lot of major growth going on. Things to do if you're a baseball fan, we've got the Round Rock Express. They've got their baseball field. It's a AAA affiliate, is right there on the north side between Hutto and Taylor. So there's other things to do out there. And then we're going to continue down this east side of Austin. And again, it's kind of a broken record at this point, but I'm saying, where all the major growth is happening. Manor, major growth happening in Manor and all the way out to Elgin at this point. And they just built another toll out to Manor from I-35. So this, I believe, is a 3-lane in each direction major road going out to Manor. So it's making life a lot easier for people that are commuting into Austin from that area. That's why it's growing so quickly. And then that brings us down to this east side of Austin. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit for this because I want to talk specifically about a couple of things that are going on over here. Okay, so just in terms of getting around, this is where the Austin International Airport is, right off 71 on the south side of Austin. Very easy to commute to downtown from the airport and pretty easy to get to overall from just about anywhere. Now, another major hiring and business went in out here. So you see Del Valley, this is 130. So right here is where Tesla is building their new facility, this gigafactory. It's huge. It's already open. It's producing cars. It's going to be producing trucks, and it's also going to be producing batteries. Now, that's where Tesla went in. And so what you're seeing is a lot of growth along 21 and also 71. They come together right here in Bastrop. Bastrop is growing leaps and bounds, and it's because of not only Tesla, but anytime a major manufacturer like Tesla comes in, and on the north side, you're going to see the same thing with Samsung when they get going. But there's a lot of smaller businesses who are moving in all along these corridors here, trying to be close to Tesla because they're producing technology equipment that they're trying to sell to companies like Tesla. So you're seeing a lot of growth along Bastrop, and they're currently expanding the roads from the airport out to Bastrop. And once those roads get fixed, you're going to see even more growth out towards this area. Now, the other interesting thing that's happening is a lot of people sometimes want to get out in front of progress, and they're like, hey, where are the places that I need to move to get a good deal on a house that is going to grow up to me? Okay, the first one I mentioned a while ago was Jarrell. Again, anything along I-35 and along 71, 290, these major roads is going to be good. But even out beyond Bastrop, if you're looking for a small town with a little slower pace of life right now that is going to end up blowing up, guys, it's Smithville. It's a quaint little town. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Hope Floats, but they filmed a lot of that that movie out here in Smithville. It is growing very, very quickly. Right now, you can find a lot of Victorian style houses in downtown Smithville. They're not being sold as much anymore because people have already found them. They've bought them, they've renovated them, and it's beautiful out there. But we're now starting to see some additional subdivisions start to go in out in Smithville. So that's where the major growth is happening right now. Just in terms of Central Texas in general. So I'm going to zoom back out one more time, give you an idea of what I just looked at, and I'm going to kind of make the round one more time. Okay, on the south side here, you've got San Marcos, Dripping Springs, Blanco, Johnson City, Bulverde, and Spring Branch are growing from two perspectives. One, because San Antonio is growing north, and two, because Austin is growing west along those corridors. Okay, and then as we keep going up, Lakeway, Leander, Lago Vista is right in here. I'd mentioned that. Cedar Park, Liberty Hill, Jarrell, Taylor, Hutto. Remember, Taylor is where Samsung is. And then coming down, Pflugerville, Elgin, Manor, and then down Del Valle, which is where Tesla is. And also in between Del Valle and Bastrop, somewhere out here, SpaceX bought additional land. I don't know where it is, but it's here along the river somewhere. And then also Smithville out here, and then Lockhart and Luling. So just in terms of the outlying areas that are going to continue to grow, these are ones to keep an eye on, and a little bit of an idea for you again with Samsung and SpaceX and Tesla as to why they're growing.